In this episode, we explore one of the most intriguing aspects of the Nephilim seed war, the attempts to prevent humanity from producing the Genesis 3:15 promised deliverer by altering human genetics and corrupting all flesh. We will show how these efforts shaped ancient history and set the stage for the ongoing spiritual conflict. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. Genesis 3:15 regards a promised deliverer and sets the stage for much of the seed war. Corruption of human genetics, the Nephilim strategy. Genesis 6 verses 1 through 4 reveals a deliberate strategy by fallen divine beings to corrupt human genetics. The sons of God, interpreted by many as fallen angels, interbred with the daughters of men, producing the Nephilim, described as mighty men of renown. Worshipped by humanity as gods and demigods in multiple cultures, these rebels and tyrants sought to usurp humanity's birthright and genetically alter all flesh. This act of genetic corruption was aimed at disrupting the human lineage and preventing the birth of the promised deliverer who would crush the serpent's head. We are also told in the book of Jasher, chapter 4, that it was intended to provoke the Lord as well. Gary Wayne, in the Genesis 6 conspiracy, argues that this corruption was a calculated move by Satan and his followers to thwart God's plan. By creating hybrid beings, they aimed to pollute the human bloodline and make it impossible for a pure human savior to be born. Wayne states, the Nephilim were part of a grand scheme to sabotage the divine prophecy and ensure that the seed of the woman could not produce the Messiah. God's response to the widespread corruption brought about by the Nephilim was the Great Flood, as described in Genesis 6 verses 5 to 8. The flood was intended to cleanse the earth of the corrupted flesh and start anew with Noah, who was found to be blameless in his generation. This implies that Noah's lineage was untainted by the genetic interferences of the Nephilim. Scholar Insight Michael Heiser in The Unseen Realm highlights that the phrase blameless in his generation suggests a purity in Noah's genealogy, free from Nephilim contamination. Heiser explains, the flood was not just a judgment on moral wickedness, but also an act of preserving the human lineage through which the Messiah would come. Despite the flood, the Nephilim reappear in the biblical narrative, suggesting continued efforts to thwart God's plan. In a future video, we will discuss the different views on this second incursion of the Watchers and Nephilim. Giants, such as the Anakim and Rephaim, are encountered by the Israelites as they enter the Promised Land. These post-flood Nephilim continue the legacy of genetic corruption and opposition to God's people. Scholar Timothy Alberino, in Birthright, the Coming Post-Human Apocalypse, discusses how these post-flood giants represented ongoing attempts to corrupt humanity and prevent the fulfillment of Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. Alberino notes the presence of giants in the land was a strategic placement by the forces of darkness to challenge the Israelites and disrupt the messianic lineage. The strategy to prevent the deliverer included attempts to kill off humanity or key figures within the messianic lineage. Notable examples include Pharaoh's order to kill Hebrew male infants and Herod's massacre of infants in Bethlehem. These genocidal attempts reflect the ongoing enmity and the lengths to which the serpent's seed would go to prevent the coming of the Messiah. Scholar Derek Gilbert, in The Great Inception, connects these historical attempts to the broader narrative of spiritual warfare. Gilbert explains, from Pharaoh to Herod, these efforts to exterminate the messianic line were direct attacks, inspired by the serpent, to prevent the fulfillment of the Genesis chapter 3, verse 15 prophecy. The narrative of Genesis chapter 3, verse 15 is more than just a prophecy. It is the foundation of an epic spiritual conflict that spans human history. The attempts to corrupt humanity's genetics through the Nephilim and the efforts to exterminate key figures within the messianic lineage underscore the persistent enmity between the serpent seed and the seed of the woman. These ancient strategies reveal the depth and intensity of the seed war, highlighting the ongoing battle between good and evil. Join us on this journey. Learn how ancient texts, scholarly insights, and theological interpretations come together to unravel this fascinating tale. Stay tuned. In the next episode, we'll delve into the antediluvian era, exploring how the Nephilim emerged and their interactions with humanity before the Great Flood. We'll uncover the origins of these giants and their role in the unfolding seed war. Don't forget to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Your engagement helps us continue to bring you fascinating content. Follow us on social media and join our community of curious minds. Stay informed about new episodes, special features, and discussions. Together we will explore the mysteries of the ancient world and the profound narratives that have shaped human history.